Good morning. It's Kate here. And yeah, I'm in here bright and early today. I'm normally a little later than this, but I have got a very full day going on today. So I'm popping in early. And, I think I may have mentioned I am in the midst of just about publishing a book that I wrote actually a few years ago. So, which meant I had to go in there and do a few edits and change a few words and yeah, your writing style changes a little over the time, so I wanted to go in there and do a few things. And in doing this book, this book is called Find Your Purpose, Find Your Passion, but it truthfully talks a lot in here about our mindset. Now, first of all, if you don't know me, I'm Kate, Kate Penwan Thompson. I am a life coach, health coach, money coach, emotional freedom coach. I love to coach with oils, and I do so. Hi, Marianne, how are you? I'm going to get in touch with you as soon as I get off here. Okay, so I love to use essential oils when I coach and in all things, because if you don't know anything about that, essential oils will help you get bigger, better breakthroughs. Essential oils the smell goes straight to your amygdala, where a lot of your memories, patterns, and beliefs are stored. And that is the place where, if you want change, that is where you're going to get change. So, today, I actually want to talk about mindset. And some people actually get this a little confused with mindfulness. Mindfulness is not quite the same as mindset. Mindfulness will help you with your mindset, but with mindset, there are two types of mindset that you can have. One is a fixed mindset, and another is a growth mindset. We can have a different, believe it or not, a different mindset for different things that are in our life. So let's say I have a very open mindset when I'm trying to learn technical things, because I don't have a lot of past in technical things. Becoming a bit of a techie has only been for me over the last few years, and I've astonished and surprised myself at how much you can learn. And then I read the book about where, between 60 and what is it, 80 or something, 80 something, are your best years. So now I know why they say you get wiser when you get older. Anyway, learning tech for me I have a very good growth mindset around that. Can I have a different mindset around other things in my life? Yes. In fact, I had a dead set, I would say, uh, closed mindset about a particular relationship that I had in my life. And it took a lot of work for me to actually open up my mind and say, I can change that. To do that, to change my mindset, which at that point was closed, about this particular relationship, how I had to change it was I had to actually change some of the patterns and beliefs that I had had in there for a long time. And when I started to do that, the only way I could do that was by exercising mindfulness. Because when I found myself thinking those same old patterns or acting on those same old patterns, and how did I know about that? I got that feeling, that same old feeling that comes when you go, no, I don't want to do that. I'm dead set against that. And you can almost feel what I call resistance rise up within you. And the reason that that happens is because you've got some set ideas in here that have been cemented in by perhaps past behaviors on both sides let's be fair, both sides. And when you discover that you do not have to take on, react, or have those same thoughts and feelings, that you actually can change them, it is huge. It is huge, guys. And to change your mindset about certain things, you really have to be open to change. And when we get open to change, we become vulnerable and we get in a place where we have to be downright honest with ourselves about our feelings and what thoughts follow those feelings. I deal with a lot of ladies, and mostly ladies, but people or people that are concerned about their weight and their weight loss. And what I generally find when I start asking questions or I dig deep is there is a mindset around certain things within that parameter. There is a mindset of, if I change, I'm going to deprive myself. There's a mindset that says, I can't have a piece of cake again. There's a mindset that says, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to exercise. I hate exercise. There's different mindsets that come around that particular subject. And when you recognize that, hey, hang on, I'm exhibiting a closed mindset here. Maybe if I want to change some of these areas, I have to change that mindset around that first. And how we do that is we very gently start to examine all the thoughts that come when a particular subject, like, say, a relationship or weight loss comes up. With weight loss, we get very sad. I know for me, look, I'm not somebody that is an up and down person. I'm pretty steady with my weight, but I'm human. And there are times where I jump on the scale and haven't been on there for a while. And I go, whoa, I had a feeling that was the truth because these jeans have got a bit tight. And then I have to examine my own self as well and go, okay, what mindset am I in and how do I correct this problem? And the first thing I do is go and look at what has changed, where you've slipped down the pipe. And this goes with relationships as well. You can get caught up in this snag of he said, she said, they hurt me, I feel bad about that, and it's their fault. We can get into that cycle, that pit, what I call the pit of crap, to tell you the truth, where we circle the drain. And when we start to realize and we get mindful and start to capture thoughts, and yes, in the Bible, it says capture your thoughts. There's a reason for that. It doesn't say capture your feelings. It says guard your heart. Capture your thoughts, because what happens is we get our feeling in our heart, and that is probably fueled by up here. And that's right, Marianne, you start to go down the rabbit hole. And, I always say that's okay, because guess what? I have an analogy in my book that's coming up where I say, well, look at Alice. Alice went seeking adventure. Alice wanted change. Alice wanted something different in her life. And she did. She went down the rabbit hole. But in the end, she didn't really fail. She looked like she failed for a while. She went through a lot of challenges, but then she came out the other side and she was fine. And that's where we've got to understand we can do the same thing. Falling down the rabbit hole doesn't mean it's over and it's done. It means you are better to try and fail than have not tried at all. Because when we try and we understand failure, we can then understand success. And that's the law of polarity. How can you ever know success if you've not understood failure? It's both of these things that go hand in hand together. And it's when we recognize our mindset about something. Are we closed on this? Have we closed shop here? Have we said, nope, ain't changing my mind on that, ain't changing my mind on that? Do you know, yesterday, I made a note of this, just an aside here. I heard the best sermon ever on the subject of marriage. And generally, I don't know about other women, but sometimes when the pastor gets up to teach on marriage, I sort of do the little bit of a cringe there. And I go, oh, here we go again, and my husband and I have the relationship where we believe that if we both aren't in agreement, then one of us hasn't heard right. So we need to go back to the closet and do a bit more praying before we make a decision, because the decision needs to be made together. And this is how it was preached exactly from the Bible yesterday. And I went, yay, yes, because in marriage, where trouble and strife arises is when one starts to feel unworthy, one starts to feel unloved, because there's a fixed mindset going on here somewhere. And there's also not mindfulness being practiced. So one is feeling a little out, and so doubts and things arise. And then we've now on the rabbit hole of fixing a marriage, instead of using the platinum rule. And I'm going to tell you the platinum rule in our house. The platinum rule is, and this was my hubby's idea, and it works. He always puts me ahead of himself. I always put him ahead of myself. And that way, you know what? Nobody's missing out. Nobody is missing out at all. And there's always an open mindset going on for change, for excitement, for adventure, for new things in a relationship. So I challenge you today to just go and look at the parts of your life that you've got a little bit of a closed mindset, and start looking at what happens when you think about changing your mind there, and maybe going, well, what if I thought this? What if I thought that? What would the result be if I changed my mind? Change is really hard. It is not the easiest thing on this planet to do. It is hard. If you want to change your lifestyle, and that means maybe get healthy, start exercising, do all these things, that it takes commitment, and it takes commitment to change. It takes believing in your desire enough to trust yourself to do it. That sounds like gobbledygook, I know, but it's simple. We have belief, and I've said this before. We believe in something. Our belief can be as small as a mustard seed. If our desire is the same size, then we're exactly right together. Our desire, we have so many desires, and we desire something, you've got to believe in it as well. And Marianne just said, Eleni describes 56 years of marriage. Isn't that amazing? We're 43 this year. I'm not caught you yet, mate. A success to be a giver, not a taker. And that is the truth. When you put your spouse ahead of you in all respects, like right down to he gets the better cut of steak. And sometimes he'll say, hey, this looks more like your steak than mine. But when you are the giver, it can never fail, because you know what? You teach, even if you're the only giver to start with, you teach the other one to give, and the other one starts to see a pattern evolving. And I tell a funny story, and I don't want to hold anybody up too much, but when I married my husband, I think one of the first birthday gifts or Valentine's or something he gave me was garden tools. He didn't have a romantic bone in his body. And while I whined a lot about that, there was this little voice that said, well, if you want romance, you create it. When I started to create the romance in our marriage, he went, hey, I like this. And suddenly I was getting a bunch of flowers, and he liked me leaving him little things, a card, surprising him with a romantic dinner. Ladies, we know all about romance. You know what? Just open your mind and teach your partner. This is Valentine's Day. If you've never done that before, I challenge you to do that today. So go and see where you're closed about this. And it may have something to do with that relationship. It may have something to do with why you're feeling unloved, or you doubt, or anything like that. but go be the instigator. Go and make your hubby a brilliant dinner or surprise him and take him out to dinner. So that's it for today. And if you want to join one of my groups, I have 3 groups. One is called Midlife Mums Making Mighty Moves. And if you're that mum that the kids have passed on and you're looking to move somewhere different and do something different, go join that group. And the other one is Whole Health Weightless, and that is about understanding that even if you do want to release weight from your body, it has to start here. Has to start up here. And I'm going to be running a class for that very shortly, because I'm hearing people that are coming out of the pandemic, people that have not got as much exercise as they normally do, people that have changed eating habits because of mild depression and all sorts of feelings like that. Also being separated from community when we need to be in community. So watch out for that one. And the other one is the Oily Coaches Revolution, because I would love, if you're a coach or you're somebody who deals with people in that capacity, I would love to show you how essential oils can help your clients and yourself have bigger breakthroughs. So that's it. I will see you tomorrow. I'm out for now, and have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. And have a great Valentine's Day. Bye for now.